Wholeness. And hello to everyone. Welcome back to another addiction.
You might be addicted to us, girl. If you're still hanging out with us after 2.5 years, you might be addicted. You don't got to get that checked out though, because we good people. But I'll
Welcome
let you try
back.
that one more time. One more time.
Welcome back to another addiction and edition of Love and Action TV show and podcast. I'm Dr. Flo, not telling you what I heard, what I know. What I know is that you're loved and lovable. You've always been loved and lovable, and you're going to be loved and lovable for the rest of your days. And it is a thrill in life to be able to encourage, equip, and empower the talents of bold dreamers all over the planet on TikTok and YouTube and Twitch and beyond. We are grateful that you are here today. I'm here and I'm queer and I'm happy about it. And I'm joined, as always, by the fabulously talented and amazing Tara Priolo of Tara Priolo Studio, home of the Liberated Voice practice.
Correct. I was like, is he gonna get it right? Also, y'all, you may see me coughing today, and I'm at home with my toddler who is also sick. So please don't panic if I don't get my hand to my mouth according to your stipulations, okay? I'm alone in my home. I do not care about you. Do not come over. Do not send me hate mail. Okay? Everybody got it. Great. Continuing on. I am Tara Priolo. I am your resident Black biracial multi-passionate musician. I talk about the ish that nobody wants to talk about. I help you make the intangible tangible by releasing the entanglements that you've placed upon your voice. And for all intents and purposes for today, I will be your voice and identity and sometimes mindset coach, but we don't talk about that one because it scares me. And so that I can continue to get an eye roll from Dr. Flo. Anywho, that's who I am.
I
If
don't
you
know
want to
why
know.
that scares you in everything that any human has accomplished in their life. All of us, universally, everything that we've accomplished, everything that we've set forth to do has started in our mind.
Because I don't want to be a skis.
There are people who do mindset coaching in a very punitive, dogmatic, unhealthy way. I mean, everything in life can be done in an unhealthy or healthy way. I find that the ways that you coach people into their wholeness artistically, professionally, is healing. I'm a benefactor of that love. So I don't see any reason why you can't join the pantheon of life coaches or mindset coaches that occupy the realm of wholeness. But I can't tell you what to do. We've learned over the last 5 years. So she's a coach, folks. And today we're going to be talking in Love and Action Network's Deconstruction Junction about the things that have come up in the socials and also in our realm of influence and understanding over the last week. We're so grateful that you're here. Those of you who are joining us in real time over on TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch, we are grateful. If you're on YouTube and Twitch, you can drop your comments into the space and we'll put them on the screen in an interactive way as we move forward. Also, bear with me today as I've had really, really strong caffeine, and so the engines are revved. If you would like to come onto the podcast to speak your heart about the things that you're seeing in your community and in your mindset and worldview, we'd love to have you on. Just send an email over to askdrflo@gmail.com, 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 and we'll put you on the panel if you are honest, open, willing, and available to it. We started this podcast just to set a little bit of intention today. I can take a breath.
I'm sharing out, so please continue.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Tara and I found years ago that our communities at large were not comfortable with having certain conversations out loud. Meaning that we wanted to talk about ceasefire. We wanted to talk about the water crisis in Flint. We wanted to talk about stolen elections. We wanted to talk about people assigned black at birth getting snatched out their cars. We wanted to talk about queer people getting shot in the face by ICE. There are things that the platforms don't want us to talk about, and there are things that our family and friend groups don't always want us to talk about. And we're like, yo, we don't want to be silent in these times. Like, now is not the time to stop talking about the important things. Things like universal basic income. That would help all of us breathe a little easier and rest a little easier at night. Things like universal basic health care, taking care of your body so that you can have a happy, healthy, and free life. We didn't find that in a lot of public spaces that we entered, people were willing to be unapologetic about having these discussions. Some of it is due to the fact that some of you are in golden handcuffs, meaning that your colleagues or your bosses or your professional connections prohibit you from being able to say the quiet things out loud. So you have to whisper in your life because you don't want to be destabilized. Well, Tara and I, ceasefire now, ceasefire now. Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. Tara and I intentionally work for ourselves, and we stay in that freedom so that we can come on alive and say the things that a lot of people are whispering about. Because, as I've said every week, and we'll probably talk about it today, if Turning Point USA and Erica Kirk and Project 2025 and the buffoon in chief, if he can go live and do press conferences and releases and spill all of his nonsense, including a photo of him as Jesus H. Christ, that he said was him as a doctor. And I don't know what kind of hospitals or clinics y'all go to where your doctors are dressed up like Jesus. But if he can do that while receiving DoorDash in front of cameras from McDonald's, there's no reason why Tara and I can't sit here and speak our truth as well. So it's a bit of a podcast, a bit of a protest, and we're happy to have you with us. Tara has the first piece of chicken today.
I do. All right. Per usual, we're diving right in with some political and global updates. Flo just gave you one. Trump is running amok on Truth Social and doing weird things with AI and then calling it something else. Even though, like, just stand in it, dude. Like, you want to be Jesus? Be Jesus. Make it happen.
Anyone who's ever had a gaslighting father, anybody who's had a gaslighting dad who said he was doing one thing but did another knows exactly the kind of father and motherfucker Trump is.
Yeah. Yeah. So usually in my political updates / global updates, I do try to steer clear of Trump. It is not because I am not aware of what is happening with him. It is because I don't think he deserves any more of our attention than like if we just stop paying attention to him. Because the thing is, like Flo was just saying, you know, we can complain and whinge, or we can do something beyond and move the world. Like complaining about Donald Trump, focusing on Donald Trump, saying that the MAGA movement needs to die, which, like, yes. However, us saying that doesn't change anything. Like it literally just gives energy to that group. It gives energy to DJ Tate. Okay. So like somebody I asked on Threads the other day, I was like, finish the sentence, like I dream, I don't know. It was like some version of like the world beyond. And someone was like, there would be no MAGA or Trump. And I was like, okay, so who would there be? You know, because y'all do a lot of exclusionary.
What's
Right,
next?
y'all do a lot of exclusionary talk, but like who's actually there with you? How about we talk about that, the thing that we're building rather than the thing that you want to leave behind. So anyway, this is a quick rundown of what has gone on in the last week. It is not all encompassing because until you all start paying us, this is a free podcast that we give you. So Okay. So the latest news has been that
What are you
two
talking about?
members.
I'm making $10,000 a minute to sit here with you.
Are you? That's impressive.
Yes.
That's very impressive.
I'm surprised that the producers haven't called you and told you about your raise.
It's because I'm a woman.
Oh gosh, not 10 cents on the dollar.
0.001 dollar.
But I'm
So
queer, which means that I make only a penny more than you.
oh my god, let's play the oppression Olympics. I'm only 5 feet tall.
Ah,
What?
ah.
So as you may or may not have gleaned over the last however many hundreds of years, there's a lot of bad people in Congress. There's a lot of people that really like to use their power to sexually assault and rape people, which is weird. And also, there is a fascination, in particular, by the white men in Congress, with assaulting and or dating and or doing bad things to young women staffers. The most infamous of that whole situation is the Clinton Monica Lewinsky moment, okay? And Clarence Thomas and Anita Hill, okay? These are infamous. Anyway, so quote unquote uncovered in the last couple weeks has been Eric Swalwell, who is a Democrat in the House. He was accused by multiple women of doing bad things, of SA and underage da da da. He was running for governor of California. He stepped down from that, and then Congress said, or the House said, we're going to run an investigation and we're going to expel you, essentially. And so Swalwell resigned. This other dude, I don't even remember his first name because he's from Texas, and I'm just over Texas, like Tex ass. Okay, Gonzalez. He was also accused of very similar things. He seemed to last longer in Congress. But essentially, when Congress decided to go after Swalwell, they were like, hey, Gonzalez, you too, girl. And he also yeeted right out of Congress. So, two down, probably approximately 500 to go, including the president. Okay. All right. So that's what's happening in the US Congress. Around the world, Hungary. Okay. There was an election held. Viktor Orban, who is a horrendous human. Like, we don't talk enough about how absolutely atrocious this guy is, who's been in power for 16 years. He's a right-wing fascist dictator type. That's really all you need to know about him. Um, and Trumpykins really loves him. Anyway, he lost. According to lots of reports, it is because of the social media campaign that this guy that won, Peter Magyar, I don't actually know how to say his name. But anyway, somebody else won. Viktor Orban is out of power. He was big sad about it. The last thing I'm bringing is that Vance, JD Vance, the one and only, has entered the fray between Trumpykins and the Pope. Because if you didn't know, I didn't know, or I had conveniently forgotten, that Vance is a Catholic. I didn't know that. Okay. Um, he entered the conversation by telling the Pope, that he should be careful when talking about theology. Now, why, you ask, is Donald Trump and JD Vance fighting with the Pope? Oh, because the Pope said you probably shouldn't commit genocide. And Trump and Vance are like, it ain't no thing, chicken wing. We killing brown people. Why do you care? That's basically what happened. So, that's my report from around the world.
Effie, I'm tired.
Yeah.
But you know this stuff. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. They do idiotic things. The news covers it. The price of the ad sales goes up. Everyone makes money. When you start to think, and we've talked about this on the podcast before, when you start to see what's happening politically as theater, and you see JD Vance and the others as actors, there's a reason why Swalwell
Which is just such
left.
an unfortunate last name. I have so much trouble saying his last name. Swalwell.
There's a reason why he left, because him not being forced to be expelled allows him to go and take some cushy corporate gig and pretend like he never did the things he did. I think that him resigning is an admission of guilt,
I
because
agree.
if it's true, like he was saying that he never did these things, and if he's pulling a Bill Clinton, I never had relations with that woman.
Never had relations with that one. Oh, I forgot to bring the Melania Trump. Melania Trump did a press conference last week, y'all, and she said, I never knew that man. I never knew Jeffrey. He wasn't my friend, girl." And we were all like, "But here's a picture.
Here's a picture.
Here's a picture, girl, of you standing right next to him. Did you just forgot? You got some Alzheimer's going on? Like, are you okay?" Because there's picture girl, and Eric is the same way. Yeah, he's like, I never did that. But then there's been videos from Congress people that are like, no, girl, we all knew. And like, if you all knew, why did you allow him to run? Like, why did you allow him to sit next to you in office? Why haven't you raised concerns until the women that were subjected to his violence were finally listened to? That's crazy. That shit bothers me more than almost anything else that I've heard about it. Like, I of course, rich, powerful men in particular, but women do it too, often take advantage of that power by forcing those without power into yucky situations, right? But it bothers me that y'all knew about it. You heard the rumors, right? This is very similar to Clarence Thomas. Y'all knew about Anita, and you done still voted to confirm him anyway. Even if that whole shindig didn't go down, y'all knew about Anita. You knew about Anita because she came into the hearing. So you knew prior to his nomination. You knew prior to Eric getting elected. You knew prior to Gonzalez getting elected. We all done knew about Donald Trump. And y'all still elected him. Y'all still put him in office. Y'all still confirmed Kavanaugh. Y'all still confirmed Pete Hegseth. You knew people in proximity to power who could stop these people from being in power abdicated their role. That's it. You're all complicit in the same damn thing.
Sorry, I was over here shopping for internet bundles.
That's all right.
Speaking of bundling life, I want to talk today about living free, dying free. I'm looking at it, and I'm like, you know what? They have a bundle over here for Peacock, Netflix, HBO Max, Apple TV. Like a lot of the services I use, like the HBO Max, Peacock, Netflix bundle is cheaper than what I'm paying right now for Netflix out of pocket. So I could save money bundling
You
my
have to,
services.
do you have to sign
Hmm?
up for the regular cable though? How much is that?
No, no, no. But right now I have bundled the um no, right now I just have the internet. I got a mobile line included and nothing else. It's just like I don't have to do the TV. I don't have to do any of that.
Nice.
And now I'm trying to see They have in-store pickup,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I think that I'm going to be
I think you're going to
asking
be
my.
upgrading this weekend. That's what I think.
I think it's going to be
When
great.
our good friend Suzette is home, so that he doesn't have to whinge about the TV.
So you just have to whinge about the TV, and also it's going to be a wash in the mount, and also I may get a streaming phone out of it.
Right. And yeah, there might be many good things that come out of that. And you can host multiple live streams easier without, you know,
Without
being
the struggle
perfect.
bus.
Yeah. Okay. Live
Yeah.
free, die.
Okay. Moving forward, live free, die free. I just want to let y'all know that I brought this topic today because
Because
um, a lot of us are raised under educational and religious and academic institutions that really did not want us to have autonomy in how we live. I'm still undoing the effects of the religious trauma that was caused to me in my childhood as a result of believing in things that no matter what your belief system is, I've never seen a devil character lurking out in the bushes on the villa here seeking to devour me. That is a hocus pocus fairy tale that was planted in my childhood heart to make me be controlled and do the things that the adults in my life wanted me to do. And I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm done living in fear because people who don't want to live their dreams or be in their freedom are living in a world of do as I say, but not as I do. There's a lot of hypocritical people in the world. For example, someone woke up this morning to someone saying to leave Substack because there's Nazis on Substack and they're pushing a white supremacist agenda there, and they're dropping white supremacist feeds into people's lives and forcing the agenda and taking money from us and giving a portion of our money to Nazis and all this. None of that shit is actually real. And you all can go on Beyonce's whole internet and lie every day. We talked recently in a past episode about the lies. Stop all of the lying, people. Like, we have nothing to lose but our chains. And I've always been a disruptor by not being a yes man or smiling and nodding. Tara was very offensive to me for the early years, and I was very offensive to her in the early years, and we were very offensive to third party individuals for years
still are, child.
because we're not going to smile and nod at you to make you feel like somebody when you're talking out of the side of your fucking neck.
Right. Right.
Tara taught me, and your friends do, and your collaborators, your colleagues, and your soul siblings, they really do come to teach you things. And Tara taught me that, in the words of Beyonce, you motherfuckers ain't stopping me. These motherfuckers ain't stopping me. These motherfuckers ain't stopping me. Like, y'all don't stop a show just because you disapprove. Your disapproval of other people is stopping you from living fully. You're not moving to a different state. You're not writing songs. You're not releasing new music. You're not raising your children in their freedom so they can kick you later. You're not doing these things. We started the podcast today with a little bit of a toddler tantrum. It wasn't me this time.
Wasn't
It
you
was
this time.
it was the actual toddler.
It was you
Um,
last week, but it wasn't you
Sometimes
this
it's me,
time.
sometimes it's the baby. It's grandbaby, baby. Um, but you're not living in your fullness. Not you all listening and watching. A great many people are not fully living their lives, but they've got a lot of opinions. And I've been talking about this all week, and I wanted to bring it in here today because I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. And the reason why a lot of my family doesn't talk to me is because I expose a lot of the bullshit that happened in my childhood and my life. And several weekends in my childhood, we would go down to a place that us assigned Black at birth people will call the country. The city folks will go out to the country. And I think Tara's going to be taking a trip for her birthday. And happy birthday in advance.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Um, she's going to be 62 this weekend. Doesn't she look great?
Mm-hmm. Black don't crack.
Black don't crack. Ah!
Although I will say that my mama is almost 70. And those of y'all who have seen my mama, you know that my mama, my white mama, she do not look 70. Okay?
God has blessed.
That like I'm going to be young forever. Forever.
Forever young.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be forever young. I love to see it. We do not have to look our ages. But the older people in my life would sit on the porch in this place we call the country in rural Virginia, and they would just talk shit about people for hours. And I learned as a kid, and a lot of us learned as a kid, you don't want to be a topic of discussion on those porches. Same thing happened, Tara, as you'll recall, in academia. If a
Mm-hmm.
dean of students or a dean of the School of Music fell out with someone, or if someone got dismissed or released from the program, the first question is, what did they do? Who did they piss off? Let's
Right.
not piss off the boss. Let's not piss off the dean. Let's not piss off the person in. And it took me a long time, especially in undergrad, to learn that the people who were trying to tell me what to do and control my life did not really care about me. They cared about control. And my therapist asked me this when I first met my now husband, Poppy. Do you want to get to know this man, or do you want to control him? And some of you all don't like Tara and I because we cannot be controlled like the ways you're controlling your children and your spouses and the people who work for you or the people in your office. Some of you are manipulative as fuck.
And you know where y'all learned it? Because he might be talking about some of you assigned Black at birth people. Okay? You assigned Black at birth people. And others. But y'all want to know where you learned it? Whiteness, white supremacy, because that's called exclusion, boo boo. And some of y'all, and when you're every time you talk about this, what always comes up for me is something that Amanda Seals points out a lot. And I just sent a reel yesterday to the Deconstruction Junction chat. If you're interested in being in that, it's on Instagram. We just send reels back and forth and threads back and forth all day long. It might be overwhelming to you. I don't care. Come in and mute it. Come back when you're ready. I don't care. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is that for a long time, and in many different areas of our life, like Flo was talking about academia, Flo was talking about being in the country, there was this sense that you never wanted to be on the side of exclusion, right? Like you never wanted to be there. And the flip side of that, the binary that it became was always listen to Black women, right? Buy only Black owned. Buy like all of these things that don't actually qualify people to send the money anywhere else. It doesn't qualify you being a good person just by being Black, right? Or just by being Asian, just by being white. Like it does not qualify you of being a good or a bad person. And so what is happening is this utilization of white supremacy inside of a culture that claims to want to rid the world of it. But we're stuck in controlling each other, right? Because what anti-blackness gets replaced by inside of the Black community, because we're going to talk about it today, is homophobia, is transphobia, right?
Come
Because
on.
you all got to have someone to exclude. Otherwise, you don't feel powerful. Otherwise, you don't feel in control. That's why y'all treat your children the way that you treat your children. And I get to talk about it because I'm a parent. And I see the way that y'all treat your kids. And it's horrendous. I see it. It's
Hunting down. Hunting down.
Right. Because you can't feel good about yourself unless someone is beneath you. Right? And that's that flip side of the binary. That's what the binary does to us. And what are binaries? They are a tenet of white supremacy. So y'all got to get real honest about how you're playing in the white supremacist world when it benefits you, all the way up until you turn around on Threads and tell us to leave Substack.
Yeah.
That's all.
Or to move in silence, or that we're talking too much, or that we're being too sensitive. We're learning in People Pleasers Anonymous, the newest edition that we are launching together. Tara's a foundational member, whether she likes it or not, that being too sensitive or calling people too sensitive or too much or too extra is a people-pleasing thing that we are ridding ourselves of. This is a year of Jubilee. This is a year of freedom. If you've never gotten free in your life, or had never had a desire to get free in your life before, we're doing it this year, because I have gone to the amusement park, ridden the roller coasters, and gotten the t-shirts, and all I see is people trying to tell other people what to do without even living their lives fully. Show me the receipts of you living a fully happy, healthy, and free life, and then I'll entertain that conversation. But most of you trying to control other people are not standing in your freedom, and so you're not a good representative of where I want to go in the first fucking place.
Right. And the last thing I'll say is that the reason that y'all got a problem with Flo and I most of the time is because we'll move the fuck on from you. We do not care. There's always another person. There is always another person that can say the exact same thing that you can say. There is always another everybody's replaceable. We learned that on the stage, child. We learned that on the stage. Okay. And I said it in a reel last night in my caption. I said, y'all are so scared to learn new music quickly because you're ingratiating yourselves to a system that doesn't actually help you. And that's what the majority of the people on the internet are doing, that are complaining and not living their lives. If you are afraid to move states and you tell somebody else not to move states, that's on you. Move the state, girl. You're afraid to go live, so you tell somebody else not to go live because, oh my God, somebody might come into your live and report it. That's your insecurity, girl. Go fix it. Go talk in the mirror for a second. Right? You calling somebody ugly? You better go look in the mirror, because that's an insecurity of yours.
Ooh.
That's all.
My God, on today. Ooh, spicy mustard. Extra pickles.
No pickles, but bun seeds. Y'all know,
Extra,
some of y'all know that
avocado.
some of y'all will know that that's a Dane Cook reference. He's a little bit racist, but it's okay. It's all right. Every white person.
We're all a little bit racist.
We're all a little bit racist. We are. Truly.
We really are. I've really had to talk about live free, die free. I've had this conversation also openly as we process our lives on live streams on TikTok daily. I've had to really accept that there are a large majority of people assigned white at birth who do not look like me, who do not get up in the morning trying to ruin assigned black at birth people's days.
Right. Or put them back in chains. You know, like that's the reality. Like some of y'all out here acting like every white person you see on the street wants to lock you up. And that's not true. Some white people just living their goddamn lives.
Some of them would liberate you. Some of them, like Alex Peretti, put his life on the line and lost his life to set someone else free. Come on, Jesus. So,
Amen.
So we have to just kind of, you don't have to do shit. I'm being called to enlarge my territory. Here's a cue. And to also expand who I am and who I believe that I could become in life if I were not subjected to the voices of the adults in my life, especially in childhood, who made me feel like I needed to be afraid of everybody on heaven, what in heaven, what was it, on earth as it is in
And
heaven. You
on
know,
earth as it is in heaven.
afraid
Hallowed
of
be thy name.
everybody, hallowed be thy name, afraid of everything on earth as it is in heaven, afraid of the jealous God, afraid of the vengeful God. I'm just quoting the book. Afraid of the enemy of our souls who comes to steal, kill, and destroy. All of this baked in religious paranoia that does not allow you to live in your freedom and in your gifts. And I joke on live and online a lot with Tara about her being the resident atheist, but what it is that she really discovered early in life, and I was envious of it. I have to admit where I'm jealous and envious of my soul siblings, like everybody else. Like, you know, when I met Tara, she didn't have the religious hangups and the spiritual hangups that I had at the time, and I really envied her freedom to go.
But let's not get it twisted, and I'll let you finish, but, like, we replace like, when we're talking about addiction and we're talking about what we give up one thing, we get addicted to another thing. We give up that thing, we get addicted to another thing, right? The reality is that, like, while I split with religion at a very young age, I was, like, 11 or 12, y'all, like, and it was not because of God, by the way. I had doubts about God, which were confirmed in my collegiate years as I went to Bible college, but that's another story. But I left because of the people, because I could never square why people were treating me, adults were treating a child as horribly as they treated me if they were God's people. Why did God allow them to treat me this way? I could never square it. And because I couldn't square it, I said, God is not real. I'm not going to inquire about this anymore. And I left it. But what replaced it? I'm a classical musician with 2 degrees. So the addiction and the religious thinking that is in me is my academic training. And that's what y'all see me decolonize consistently when I'm talking about blackening the canon. That's what it is. I'll let you finish. So sorry.
No, I love that. We have a saying in the Pentecostal church about Jesus coming to set the captives free. And that's what you're doing with blackening the canon work. It's like, yo, you're chained, and she gets taken to task weekly, sometimes daily, about like, why are we only singing dead white dudes? And people will, in their mental chains and in their mental slavery, take her to task about how she's trying to destroy the classical
I'm
world,
trying to take Bach away from you. I'm trying to take Beethoven away from you. No, girl, I'm just saying that there were black people that were living at the same time.
and their erasure is
But
problematic.
and out the other side of your mouth, y'all be claiming that black people were the original people on earth. But let's not talk about that, right? Y'all be acting like black people didn't exist at the time of Bach, while also claiming that black people are the original people.
Which one is it, girl?
Square it for me, babes.
Whew, we
Let's
got to get
go.
off this slide.
We gotta go. We gotta go. Okay, so we've been talking about essay and grape an awful lot today. Um, but
So much so that I had to take down the TikTok just in
yeah,
case we got like
just in case.
ruined.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, TT, but y'all know where to find.
No, this is life. This is life.
So my latest report on ICE is essentially that yes, they are still abducting people. Yes, they are still at play. It's just gone underreported because of Iran. And Miss Rachel is still doing great things, trying to get petitions signed, trying to get legislation to get Dilly Center closed, all of these things. And there have been consistent reports about teenagers being sexually assaulted and raped by ICE officers. And this is the article. I think if you click next, there's a screenshot or something. Yeah. Okay. So this was from Zeli Imani, who's I actually most of the time agree with him online. But anyway, I don't know him personally. he shared this on his Instagram. Immigrant toddler was sexually abused in custody while her father sought her release. And then the caption says, an immigration attorney says a 3-year-old girl spent more than 5 months in federal custody and was allegedly sexually abused, even though her father, a lawful permanent resident, was available to care for her. And once again, I'm just centering just how depraved white supremacist power and capitalistic power and colonialism is. Like, this is what they think they should be able to do. And these are the people that I think we also need to be holding accountable. Right? Like, we can talk about the sensationalism of Eric Swalwell and some of these other people, but these are people that I don't even know the name of the people that abused this child. Right? And it was multiple people, to be clear, because even if only one was doing the act, there was somebody else keeping it quiet. Right? Because it happened over 5 months. So that, and also just a call once again, whenever I talk about this stuff, it makes me very sad. I think it's incredibly disturbing. I think it's very weird how we as a complete culture sexualize children. Like, we are just like okay with pedophilia, just like walking down the street. Like, we are just like so okay with that. And it's so strange to me. It's so strange. But anyway, we would not have these issues if we addressed the actual problems in society. SA, pedophilia, these are not natural proclivities of people. These are a result of living in the society that we live in. The problem is not the symptom. The problem is capitalism. The problem is colonialization. The problem is imperialism. The problem is the hierarchy that I was talking about earlier. If we can tear those down, we will not have to deal with Donald Trumps. We will not have to deal with people graping 3-year-olds. We won't have to hear stories about it every single day on the internet. We won't have people abducted. We won't have people thrown into jails. We wouldn't need a punitive society to rectify these people. We wouldn't need to have conversion therapy because we have addressed the problem, which is creating the symptoms that y'all are okay with. Because I guarantee you that the majority of you that scrolled past this story didn't share it with anybody. Right? Because you're not going to challenge the authority. That's all.
Is it because this happened to us? Like, why do you think that P3DOs and child rapists, why does the society at large like take a collective gasp but not actually take these motherfuckers to the guillotine? Is it because it's our uncles or it's our cousins or our brothers or our fathers? Like, what is the reasoning why
I just
there's
always
not?
go back to that, how like normalized it is. Like, how, like, once again, like how normalized it is that we sexualize kids' bodies. Like, I think about the beauty pageants and I think about how normalized that is. I think about how normalized it is to put fake lashes and fake boobs on 5-year-olds. Like, I think about how little boys get put in sports and wear exaggerative nut cups that are too big for them. Right? Like, we as a culture over hundreds of years now have sexualized and allowed for this fascination of youth and commodified youth in a way, right? And so it's the propaganda that we're receiving that says that it's okay, that's placating us, right? Oh, it's just fun and games. It's just so and so spraying water on that kid, you know. It's just it's fine. You know, she's only 5. It's okay for her to, you know, whatever. Like, it's okay for her to walk around a stage. It's okay to say the things about famous people that we say because oftentimes famous kids, right, get sexualized very quickly. Very quickly. Have y'all seen this stuff about Britney? Y'all see the documentary about Britney? When these white men, these old white men were talking about how this good little Christian girl was dipping into her sexuality at the age of 10. So I think it's everything, and I think because we're so propaganda.
I was dipping into my sexuality at the age of 10, and the adults were like nowhere to be found.
Right, well, and, like, even to take it a step further, like, when you're sitting at the park as a parent, right, and once your kids are, like, old enough to, like, make friends, right, and this is why homophobia is so prevalent, because you see a little girl and a little boy, assigned at birth, little girl and a little boy, and you say, "Oh, they're boyfriend, girlfriend, isn't that cute?" Little kids don't they ain't looking at each other sexually, and that's the only difference between a friend and a significant other, you know? Like, we
Baked in
start that
weirdness.
young. It's very weird. It's very weird, and people don't like, it is just so normalized, like or when you say like, grandmas are infamous for this, right? Grandmas go, "Well, oh, that's such a looker of a kid. They're gonna be so beautiful, and, you know, everybody's gonna hit on them when they're a teenager." And the kid is, like, 5.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Weird.
Yeah,
That's weird.
he's gonna be a heartbreaker, or he's gonna be a looker, or you know, yeah,
Yeah,
the
he's gonna break
weird.
all the hearts. He's gonna he's gonna be the quarterback. All the girls are gonna want him, da 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 da. All the boys are gonna be after her and that beautiful long hair. Weird.
That sets up the condition where a criminal can be in a type of law enforcement harming a child in plain sight, and nobody reports it because they don't want reprimand or to lose their income.
Mhm, mhm.
I don't know how to transition out of that last
So we're just going to
segment
move
at
on.
all. I'm usually pretty smooth about it as a media trained professional and brilliant orator, darling.
Darling.
Um, we're just going to talk a bit about the art of showing up. Um, I want to preface this by saying that I'm not seeking to be shaming, damning, or
Prescriptive.
trigger guilt today. What'd you say?
I said prescriptive.
Yeah, or preach or anything like that. Because I teach and I preach universal themes, and I see this showing up in my life as well. If you have a desire, and if you have a dream in your life, and there's something that you want to accomplish, you're going to have to be present for it.
Let me go on mute. Let me go on mute. Let me not start something. No, you go.
Oh, God. You're going to have to put up or shut up. And while that may seem like a sassy Dr. Flo thing to say, put up or shut up, shutting up is not going to get you to the goal that you want to have. And I just want to encourage you all today to respond to the emails, to show up to the group chats, to join the free stuff, to go to the TikToks, not just for Love and Action Network and tear out myself, but to actually be part of a community that can save your bacon. I can definitely say that my life would have been 50 times harder if I had not done the courageous thing of leaning into community and doing as Les Brown taught me, my spiritual father, asking for help and to not stop asking until I get it. And if you want the community to show up for you, you got to show up for the community. And hopefully your showing up will be in an authentic way that doesn't take you out of your power. In fact, I would encourage, as a global sponsor of People Pleasers Anonymous, I would really encourage you to not show up in a way that diminishes your power. But I see this in my clients and I see this in myself, where we're talking a good game, but we're not necessarily actualizing in a way that will bring us closer to what we want. And I'm challenging myself even today in today's segment to do more of the things that I say that I want to do. I've gotten really, Tara can tell you, I've gotten better at it over the last few years. And here's what happens when you actually start to do what you say you're going to do. You feel more confident in yourself. You actually start walking around a bit taller, and you actually exude more joy and more confidence and more peace because you're no longer lying to yourself and the world around you. Give it a shot. Show up for yourself first, and then start showing up for the things that you say you want. And I promise you, it will start to lift your life. Tara wanted to talk a bit about threads therapy.
Yeah, click to the next slide. Apparently it's a space on Threads, and Flow was live this morning, which reminded me of this thread that I had shared. It says, and literally the like keyword is threads therapy. And this is from Simply Salt and Soul. Is it just me, or is being on Threads, reading and joining conversations actually really therapeutic? I find it calmer, more real, and way easier to connect than other apps. Connections are real, and it feels like a gentle mental break instead of overload. Anyone else feel that way or feel this way? And I commented back and said I was just talking in a mastermind about this the other day. Because I do like, and I'm having this conversation as I'm also being encouraged to like bring my pop culture content from not just Threads, but to other apps. And I'm like, but Threads is so easy. Like it's just, I don't know. It's the way we used to talk about Clubhouse. It feels like, and we've talked about this before, but Threads feels a lot like the 2021, 2022 Clubhouse life. And it really is easy to connect there. Like, I mean, sometimes you'd get, zilch, but my last few posts, like that I've asked a question or that I've said something, have gotten some responses, and I'm having some good conversations about how quickly we can learn music and blackening the canon and all of these things, and even, mom threads and stuff. So I just wanted to to follow up from what Flo was just talking about the art of showing up, like find the easiest way for you to make the connection. Right? For me right now, it is being flippant on Threads. It is responding to something that I saw about Hillary Clinton this morning about taking APAC money essentially. And like, we know, girl, like that thread it's getting a lot of likes because we know, girl. And so you just find the easiest place for connection. And also I would just encourage you all that, like, somebody asked me, if it was like Reddit. And I was like, well, it's not exactly like Reddit because I find it easier to find conversations that I'm interested in on Threads. But yeah, this is just another plug for why I think we're bringing Threads an awful lot and why we do Threads dives on this podcast is because Threads is the place that we're finding a lot of connection these days.
We're finding a lot of everything. I just opened up the app and ran into this guy named Mr. White Time. He's got 12.7K followers, and all he's doing is showing his feet. And I never considered myself to be like a foot person, although we did have a Toes and Tunes product here for a minute. I told Angie this morning in text messages, like, I think I had a missed opportunity on my hands. I'm gonna send this to you, Tara, so you can see his work.
Okay.
It's just like, I don't know, like if you're into feet or anything like that.
To frozen hot chocolate this morning?
Yeah, like there's a lot of foot content that's like showing up on my feed. I never considered myself to really be a foot person like that. Like it doesn't really do anything for me. But now I'm looking at these here live, and I'm like, well, you know,
The only time that I notice feet is when the toes are dirty and it makes me want to cut them and give them a pedicure.
I don't. Yeah, this guy. It's just all feet and calves and socks and things. And I mean, I'm not really into it, but I'm also like not into it. Um, he's also directing us. Uh-oh. He's directing us over to his X account,
Uh-oh.
and over there, I'm trying to see like what he's got going on. Oh, okay. That's also a follow though. Okay, we'll come back for that later. But
I hope you were on the right account for that follow.
I am. I've learned. X is pretty much the like X pretty much stays on the naughty stuff account primarily. I share out on my X from our social media platform that we use to because a lot of people don't talk to me over in the legitimate stuff. It's typically um, stuff like this that gets kind of tracked. But I see now why he's popular. Um, I see why he's popular now. So anyway, yeah, Threads is a great place, everybody, where you can connect with all kinds of content and people. There's 490 million people there, and so if you're looking for a lid for your pot and you want to have conversations with like-minded individuals throughout the day, all day, every day, that's a place where you can start. We talked already today about the Substack woes. There's a person over on social media who was telling everyone. Of course, her profile's like angry black lady. So what do you
Do you know
expect?
who that is? Do you know who that is?
Portia's wife.
Yeah. Yeah. Girlfriend?
Portia's wife.
Friend?
Portia's girlfriend. I don't know. So, Portia's person. At the end of the day, I don't know Portia. I don't know her. I don't know why you would make content
Portia's Sevilla.
lying in that way. And if she lies about that, she'll lie about other things too. I don't know these black women, so I don't want to disparage. And it's just a very weird take that because a platform has Yahtzees on it, somehow it's not going to be a space where you can thrive. We're all in the world together, and we are somehow thriving, even in adverse conditions. Our ancestors did it. We're going to do it. Um, if you want to be on Substack, be on Substack. If you want to be a positive presence on Substack in the ways that we are, do that. If you want to leave it, leave it. It really is up to you. But you all policing people and telling people that they need to leave platforms. And then it's the following for me. It's like in the comment section, you see all these people. I didn't know that. I'm leaving the day. We talked also this morning with one of our Clubhouse associates, Sonia, where she was like, I'm not on TikTok because I don't know the terms of services for the platform. And I'm not sure that I want to be there. I haven't been on it since it changed ownership. I'm like, but you're sitting on Meta on Instagram talking to me, and they care about you less than TikTok has claimed to. There are no digital safe spaces outside of the ones that we curate behind the scenes for ourselves. And we have those types of programs here in Love and Action Network. Don't believe the hype, folks. Do what makes you happy. Everything leads to companies like BlackRock. If you've ever gone down the rabbit hole,
Well, and I think even in addition, right? I don't necessarily need to be in any more echo chambers. I don't need to be in any more affinity groups. And quite frankly, y'all, the people that you don't like are still going to be in the world with you. So like and once again, like back to what I was talking about earlier, like we have to be honest about the ways that we're playing in white supremacist Delulu. We have to be really honest about the ways that we're playing in capitalism. We have to be really honest about the ways that we're playing into colonialism. And one of those ways that we're playing into it is by leaving platforms expecting that to force the platform to change. But what it does is leaves an echo chamber of the people that we don't like. And that is not to say that we have to engage these people, because I ain't never seen a Nazi on I ain't never seen one on Substack. I don't think any of them subscribe to me. I don't subscribe to them. I don't know
I've
who they
never
are.
seen
I
it.
don't know who they are. You know, I've seen some Zionists, but that's about it. That's about as far as I've been.
I've never also seen anybody attacked by one of those people in the space.
Agreed. I've never seen the nasty comments that y'all leave me on YouTube. I've never seen them like you leave me on Facebook. But I have, you know, I've seen those on those platforms, those Meta platforms and that Google platform, but I ain't never seen it on Substack. Okay. Like Substack keeps me pretty protected. Okay. So you know, like I think we have to be really I asked this lady once. I won't say her name because she's still a big name in like the music career women's space. Some of y'all will know who this is. Um, she runs a podcast that's pretty major. Uh, but we were in a club, she was on Clubhouse, and we were in a Clubhouse room that we were all hosting together. And she asked this question of like, well, I'm building spaces for women. Is that enough? And I said, well, is separate but equal ever enough? Because once again, these people are going to exist in the world, and what you are avoiding, what you are excluding, is your capacity to deal with those people in community. Right? We're not saying go into the group of Nazis and get you know, and yell at them and get beat up. But what I am saying is that they're still going to exist. Like, just because you leave a platform, just because you create a platform for women, does not mean that the men don't exist. Right? Like that's playing into the very things that we say that we want to dismantle. Right? And that's also what I think about boycotting. That's what I think about a lot of this stuff, is that like a lot of the systems or the tactics that we're using to quote unquote fight the institutions are actually built by the institution. Because in order to believe that a boycott is going to work, you have to believe in money. You have to believe in capitalism. You have to believe that those things are controlling us, when the reality is that we can just choose that they don't. Right? And we don't have to boycott because money isn't the most all powerful thing. So that's that. That's my opinion on that. And I think that until like people were in the comments like suggesting some other app called Beehive, I guess. But like quite frankly, Substack is the easiest one that we've found to get podcasts and blogs delivered to people with its own algorithm. You know what I mean? Like,
And budding tools for leaving Meta if you needed to go live, leaving YouTube if you needed to be out of those clutches, leaving Twitch, leaving TikTok. You
right.
can literally be independently platformed and make money there, as I do. And so it makes me think like, are some of these detractors or naysayers being actually paid by Meta itself? Like, Portia's wife has a lot of followers,
Mm-hmm.
on the platform. Is she being monetized
She's
to
also on
take
Patreon, because the link below it
down?
was
Girl,
Patreon. And I'm like, Patreon, I'm sure has Nazis on it.
I'm sure that any of these American heritage or Back the Blue or Return to America or Return to Christ, a lot of these things that you see that are front facing, like innocuous looking things, are also like causing harm
Right. Right.
behind the scenes. It reminds me of when we talked in here about that group of like thousands of men who had a group dedicated to demonstrating how they would harm women and the harm they did to women. This was
Right.
happening for years. Stop the
Right.
madness. Create
Again.
something that is the medicine for the illness.
Right.
Nuts. And ceasefire now, wherever you are on the planet. Create a ceasefire environment in your homes and in your DMs and things. Fighting with people all day and being at war with folks and perpetuating that kind of vibration in the world is not going to get us to calm and peaceful coexistence. And so we're calling for ceasefire not only in the uh, militarization of things in the world, but also just in the militarization of our inner sanctum and community spaces. We're currently doing Adopt a Black Artist program and also Creative Access Partner program. And coming online soon, I talked about it this morning. It's in my notes that are on the floor here. The Love in Action Mixer Networking and Matchmaking portal will be available for those of you who want to network on the fly 24/7. I'll be pulling that online later today to get some things rolling with folks who are looking to meet each other as an extension of having met with me. If you're interested in any of the programs that I've mentioned or that I'm going to mention, just send me an email or go to our websites and contact us. We also offer daily peer support online, mostly when I'm cooking my breakfast and my dinner on TikTok as a bit of a service exchange co-working body doubling experience. I'm so grateful to the TikTok community that stops by every day. Tara is often there holding down the fort, and there are others who've been coming online to be part of our broadcast channels and to anchor love and to have a positive experience on the app, which we are called to be. And so if you're interested in the daily peer support groups, just go to lovedandlovable.org and tap in. We would love to see you and smile on you and have you smile back. Love City Arts Creative Services Group is now available for perusing of our services on lovecityarts.net. If you are in need of admin and support services, you're welcome to tap in. And we have flexible pricing there for you, or we can build we can build to order a service offering that would make you very, very happy. And I've already talked about the sites, lovedandlovable.org, askdrflow.com, and lovecityarts.net. They all have special things to bring. You can also go to our link in bio where all three links are located in order to check out the new digs. And special shout out to Awesome Angie, Novelty and Gifts for this year's annual sponsorship of our websites. We're so grateful, and you'll be seeing her face and hearing more from her in the future as well about her contributions to the network and how she feels about being loved and lovable with us. If you're also interested in Dr. Flo and the loving experience and contributing, we're taking donations over on the donation portal at lovecityarts.net as well, or at lovedandlovable.org. We are looking to encourage the diverse talents of people all over the planet as we celebrate the power of love through music, theater, and art. If you're interested in tapping in to the Savannah-based expansion of heart and love, just check me out and send me a line through all the websites aforementioned. Here's a little shot of what I plan on doing my life for the next 20 years on earth as it is in heaven.
Thy will be done.
Amen, Ashe, Namaste, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. What you got going on, Priolo?
So last week I introduced the liberated voice practice. There are a couple more posts on my Instagram. That's also going to be going up on my Substack sometime this week. If you are a voice person, if you are a singer, I'm particularly looking for singers that have had voice lessons before, but have not been able to either consistently take them because of budget or timing, and or have just never felt like they've made the progress that they wanted to make. The way that I teach, I fundamentally believe don't sing, train, sing free. I'm not trying to make you follow my technique exactly. I'm not trying to make you sound like me. I'm not trying to make you sound like your favorite singer. I'm trying to find your authentic voice and your identity that is tied into that, which creates a reimagined approach to vocal training that centers identity, challenges tradition, and supports personal growth over time. My students typically stay with me anywhere north of like 5 years, honestly. I'm blessed for that, but it is also because we're doing more than just do, re, mi, fa, so. We are actually working on the reasons why certain exercises aren't working for you or certain phrases aren't working for you, etc. And there's a bunch of different tiers to meet different budgets, and you can go to my Instagram page to find out more about that. Okay, I also have my album, I Dream a World. Flo mentioned earlier that my birthday is on Saturday. So I'm going to be announcing later today on my Instagram and my Substack a drive for listens. I'm trying to get to 500 listens as well as $1,000. So you can go to tarapriolo.bandcamp.com and listen there. The link is also on my main link, tarapriolo.com/links. And there's also the I Dream a World archive project where I'm asking people about the next world and asking for their opinions. It's been actually pretty popular on Threads, a little bit on Instagram, but not so much. And I'm hoping that eventually there will be people willing to come on and allow me to ask them that question, what their new world looks like on video, and we can just create a locker of the way that we are moving forward instead of continuing to complain about how we're not getting picked and how the world sucks and all of those things. I intend to have places that are not focused on complaining because, as we've talked about, the majority of this podcast, complaining only gets us stuck in the frequency of complaining, right? So those are the things going on in my network, my community web. I would also encourage y'all to just go to my Substack. That's where I do a lot of my long form content. And there's a podcast there as well, like my own personal podcast that's mostly morning yaps at this point. And then you can follow on socials where I am. That's where I'm kind of the most active at the moment because I'm pregnant and I have a toddler.
We're grateful for your contributions in the middle of and as you walk through the fire of adulting, loved and lovable. All right, folks, we hope that you enjoyed the podcast today and something was said that uplifted you and helped you think outside the box about what it means to be happy, healthy, and free in this life. If you enjoyed it, we invite you to give us a like, a share, or subscribe across all the platforms. And until next time, on behalf of Tara Priolo Studio, our production team, our membership, and our global supporters all over the planet, we invite you to stay in your power, stay in your joy, stay loved and lovable. And we'll see you very, very soon around our fabulous network. Take care.